Wolfclock Productions, Wolfclock here. This is The Thing Remastered, version 1.2, by a person whose name I forgot to look up, even though I was going to say who did it at the start of this video. So that's unfortunate. Let me turn up the music volume real quick. Beautiful, we got some episode 2 music, I believe. So everybody knows The Thing. It's The Thing. We're not talking John Carpenter here. This is late night casual hour, we just get right into things. So let's take a look and see what this thing is about. We're talking Remastered. Brand new. Everything, I believe, is going to be brand new. Probably not. But that's the thing about things like this, is that you either get the thing or you don't. I know a thing or two about these sorts of things. Now, the thing about this zombie over here, there was a thing I downloaded for this thing mod. Essentially, the thing about it was that all the things that you see here were supposed to be beta asset things. And it seems that half the job is done here. You can see this thing, the head crab, on top of this other thing here, the zombie, is a beta head crab sort of thing. So that's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, the whole thing's here, not... we don't have the whole thing here. We don't have the beta zombie mod in there. That's an interesting thing, to be honest with you. Anyway, I'll explain what the thing about the thing mod is in just a few minutes. There are some things I have to take care of first, though. Again, if you don't know about the thing, it was a beta mod. Well, not a beta mod. A mod for the beta. In fact, it's a very interesting thing. The Thing mod came out before Half-Life 2 came out. It was the first ever full conversion mod released for... Get this thing off of my head! It was the first ever full conversion mod created for Half-Life 2. So early, in fact, obviously, that it predates the game itself by a couple of months, I believe. I'll have a few things about this in the video's description, I think. Because I didn't bring all the things I needed to talk about this to the video itself. That's the thing about me, is I'm not always prepared for these sorts of things. But, well, one thing leads to another. I'm sure we'll figure out all the things this thing mod has to offer. Are you guys getting sick of this joke yet? Because I'm not going to stop making it. That's the thing about me, is that when I think of a thing to say, I continue to say that thing, because it's funny to say a thing over and over again. That's the thing about comedy, is that to be comedic, you've got to have a thing. Find your thing and stick to it, they say. Again, we're like half and half with the beta assets here. There's sort of a thing to download that came with this mod. There was like this sort of add-on thing. The thing about the add-on thing was, get these things off of me. The thing about the add-on thing was that it claimed that you'd be able to add beta things to the thing mod instead of the retail things. But as you can see, we've got some retail things over here. These are the final outline models. That's a very weird thing, to be honest. If I were to do a thing like make a mod like this, or update a thing mod like this thing to a retail thing, a retail sort of engine branch, things like that would have retained their original visuals. I wouldn't keep things like the retail zombie right here. I would have done a thing to get the beta zombie back, but that's okay. I'm not asking for the wheel to be rewritten here. That's not the right thing to say. I'm not asking you to do something like reinvent the wheel, is what I'm saying. Anyway, this mod's a pretty interesting thing. We've got this facility of unknown origin, unknown purpose. And the thing about it is that, well, I don't know for what thing I've come to this place. Ooh, smoothed out staircase. That's a good thing to have in a modern mod. I'm sure that the original 2003 version of this thing, or perhaps it was 2004. That's the thing, is that I don't remember when the thing first came out. But, I don't know. I like that these stairs have been fixed up. It's quite an enjoyable thing to have in a modern mod. What was I saying again? I don't quite recall. There's a zombie here, though. There was a zombie here, though. See, that's the thing, is that when you play things like this, you gotta be ready for everything. And anything. These sorts of things, it's important to keep track of, you know. Like this thing right here, it wasn't ready for me, it was looking the other way. I know a thing or two about these sorts of things, so don't worry about it. I feel like I have lower quality textures turned on, but the thing about that is that I certainly set the texture quality to be the highest quality it could be, so I'm not sure if there's a thing here that I've messed up, or there's a thing that I'm missing, but something is amiss. I think this is... Yeah, this has got things behind it, so this must be the right way to go. Who's that? Who's that? Who is that? What a weird thing to see. Okay, this... I don't... Like, whatever's happening right now, the thing about this, it's like... You can't keep doing things like this, dude. You can't attack me. Yeah, sector is not secure. This guy doesn't even know a thing or two about keeping the sector secure, but I do. Oh, so this thing was locked on the other side because there was a metal gate that was covering it up. That's an interesting thing. This thing probably toggles something else. I just pressed it twice, so press the third time, that thing should go the way I want it to go. But where do I want it to go? Well, that's the thing. I guess we'll just have to find out. Okay, these textures seem lower quality than they should be. Give me just a second. There might be a thing that I messed up. Map picnic. No? That's a very weird thing. Map picnic is -1. That thing is the lowest that you can set it. So everything should be looking pretty high quality right now, but I don't know. There's a very weird thing going on in the game here. I'm thinking of thing puns and also running out of ammunition, so that's pretty annoying. It's an interesting thing, though. Trying to think of all these different jokes to make. Just a second, though. There was one thing that I messed up. I turned on fast weapon switch. I don't want that. That's a terrible thing to have in Half-Life 2. Why would I turn that on? Turn off fast weapon switch. This is an interesting thing. It was set to easy difficulty by default. I don't know what they were thinking about that, but I guess that's a thing I can live with. So yeah, this mod is very interesting, because usually when you're playing, like, old beta stuff, the things that you see, you aren't expecting them to be functional, right? You're not expecting to see these transitions work, and things be fully arted out. You know, that's the thing about a beta, but because this was made by someone in the community, they did a thing or two to make sure that their mod was, like, fully complete. There are a lot of things here that are actually quite nice given when they were made. And again, this is a remaster, so all the things that we see on this thing mod are slightly higher fidelity and slightly higher quality than the things you would have seen in the original version. But, yeah, take for instance these patches of, what do we call these things? Hay. Oh, it's hay. This looks pretty good for 2003, or 2004, possibly? That's the thing, is that I don't recall if this came out when it was still 2003, if it was 2004 when the thing finally released. It's a very interesting thing, though. What's not so interesting about all these things that we see out here is one of these changes that we've made. Now, here's the thing. I understand that... Okay. The thing about you over here, buddy, you need to relax. I'm trying to talk about these things. I know a thing or two about this crap, and you don't. So just sit down. Let me tell you a thing or two. So the thing about the original version of the Thing mod is that, obviously, we see all these higher quality trees and stuff in this outside area. And these trees wouldn't have been here in the original. This was a thing that was added in the remaster, and while I think it's a pretty nice thing, the thing with it is that I can't actually see past all these damn things. So we have this whole area, this whole balcony for sniping with this sniper rifle. And the thing about this sniper rifle is it's actually just a crossbow. That's a cheeky little thing there, but I respect it. I respect the replacement model for the crossbow, because honestly, it did the same thing as the sniper rifle did. It was missing some sound effects and stuff, which is fine. But yeah, the thing about it is that it makes it a little bit hard to see where all these things I want to be shooting in the distance are as a result of, Uh-oh. Ooh, we got him. I think that thing hit him in the knee or something. Popped him on the toes. Knocked him over. All in all, though, this mod is a very interesting thing. In fact, I had considered doing a thing like this quite a while back, but I never got around to doing it, so I'm glad somebody did something about the thing mod. Yeah, no question about it. Oh, there are a lot of things to shoot at here, though. How about we get these guys from behind so they don't get alerted to my presence? Yeah, that's the thing about shooting some guys at a distance, is that if they know where you are, they'll all get alerted to you. We don't want a thing like that to deal with. I hope that the... Yeah, it looks like that's probably made out of brushwork? No. See, this thing is a model. I don't know if the colliders here are specific or not. So if I shoot, there's a chance that my shooty thing will just get stuck on the side of an invisible thing and not shoot the head over here that I'm aiming for. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's an important thing to pay attention to. Where's he going? Dude, chill. Chill. I know a thing or two about these woods. You're good. Where's he going? This is a crazy thing. He's running off. It's a strange thing to witness, folks. A very strange thing to witness. There's another thing in there. I can see his arm. Is that what that is? No. Where's he going? This guy's got a weird thing going on with him. I don't like it. Where you going, bud? What is the thing with this guy? He's up to something. No question about it. There's a thing going on here. I know a thing or two about things. Let me tell you, there is a thing going on here. He might be leading me to something. That'll be interesting. This is an interesting thing. This is showing off just how good the, what's the thing called? Just how good the navigation mesh is. Not even navigation mesh, they used nodes back then. That's the thing about older Source Engine, is that modern Source Engine, they use a thing called a nav mesh, which is a bunch of different things on the ground, these little areas that connect together. Back for Half-Life 2, when the Half-Life 2 NPCs use this, they use nodes, which are little things that are on the ground that are like specific waypoints to go to. It's a very interesting thing. There are a lot of things to be said about it, but one thing's for sure, it's not entirely relevant to the matter at hand. There's a thing I need to deal with right now. That's getting rid of all these Combine soldiers. Yeah, the thing about these guys is they're not very bright, so you've got nothing to worry about when it comes to dealing with these people. Boom, boom, boom. Now, the thing about this mod, I mentioned that I'd thought about bringing the thing up to modern standards and making a thing for it, so that you could play it within the modern engine, sort of like what this thing I'm playing right now does. But the thing about the thing mod is that it uses mostly all the stuff that you see in the final game, but there's one thing missing, and that's the sniper rifle. This thing right here, this is actually a crossbow in game, because the original sniper rifle weapon, it's its own unique proprietary weapon that's in the beta, but there are some weird things about it. So for these older weapons, this is the crossbow, as well as that the AR-2, the old OICW thing, and there was another thing. It was the, what was the thing? There was a third thing. Not the crossbow, I'm sorry. The sniper rifle, the OICW, and I believe the third thing that I'm thinking of is the, get this thing out of my face. I was trying to say something, and you've ruined my concentration. Anyway, the third weapon is what it was. That's the name of the thing. It was a weapon. The third weapon, I guess it's a technical weapon, not a real one, but the thing was called a, shoot, I don't remember the name of the thing. It lets you zoom in, though. Binoculars, that's what the thing is. So the binoculars, the OICW, and the sniper rifle have this older format, or not even format, I guess would be the right word, but this older thing that they use for zooming in. And unfortunately, the zoom on these older weapons is slightly broken in the modern engine. There's some weird things with it. Back in the day, I did a couple of things trying to port those into retail, but something about them didn't really work the way I'd hoped for it to. And for whatever reason, these things, if you were to save and load, or if you were to load into a new level, the zoom wouldn't work, which is particularly bad for the this thing off of here. It's particularly bad for the binoculars thing, because that thing, all it is a zoom. And if you don't have a working zoom on a thing that only zooms, then the whole thing doesn't work. So I guess what I'm saying is that I don't really blame this guy for not bringing those things into retail. It might also just be they didn't know how to. The thing that they wanted to do is port and update the maps, and they did just that. So, I mean, that's a good enough thing for me. Good for them. There's another soldier just running out in the distance. What is this guy's problem? What's his thing? Get out of here, you. Another one. See, the thing with these soldiers, I don't know if this is something that's been put directly into the map to make them wander around like that, but these soldiers are doing something very strange that I don't really see in Combine soldiers very often. It's certainly a weird thing, no question about it. Of course, the thing about this guy is he's not going to survive the next 5 seconds. Boom. Just like that. No thing to worry about. There's a weird thing going on with this guy, though. What are you doing? He doesn't know nothing. There we go. Like I said, I know a thing or two about this game, so it's nothing to worry about. There's another interesting thing. You see all the grass tufts coming through the ground. That's an issue with, I believe there's a thing for compiling maps. So when you compile a map for the source engine, there are 3 things that you have to use. There's VBSP, which is a Valve BSP program. It makes the physical things in the world that you see. There's VViz, it's the visual side of stuff. It makes it so that things get occluded when you have them around corners and stuff. So, say for instance, this wall right here, the things on the other side of this wall are not being rendered because of that VVIS thing, VViz. And then there's VRAD, which is the radiosity thing. Basically, that thing just makes all the lighting and things for these sorts of maps. But VBSP, there's a thing in it that makes particular textures, particular materials, things like this on the ground, this dirt. It makes it so that these little grass tufts and other sorts of things come out of it. Unfortunately, there's no way to prevent those things from being made if, say, for instance, we're inside of something like a building like this. Take a look at this. Open up the door. There's grass coming through the ground. What's the thing with this? So, the thing about this is that the game, the map compiler things, don't really know where things like this start. But for Left 4 Dead onwards, I believe, I think it was something like that. I think it was Left 4 Dead version, the Left 4 Dead version of the thing that compiles the map or whatever. There was a thing to prevent those things from going through the ground. It was called detail blockers. But that thing was never released in an SDK. So if you want things like that to not go through the ground, you either have to use Left 4 Dead's version, and that thing, I think it only works on Left 4 Dead's version of the engine. If you try to make a thing with that on 2013 base, it's going to break some things. I don't think I can get this thing through here. What a shame. That's a thing I would love to see. Alright, whatever. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that if you want a thing like that to work, you need to use like leaked code and stuff. It's a very strange thing. There are a lot of things in the source engine where if you want a thing to work, you need to use leaked code. And I wish I wouldn't have to do that. Like, people got screwed over when things like that leaked. I don't want to have to use leaked code just to get stuff like functioning blockers for detail props. It's a messed up sort of a thing. Anyway, here's the thing about this section. It's like a big boss fight. Honestly, it's a really cool thing. Because, like, imagine things like this, say, in release Half-Life 2. It's a crazy, crazy thing. It just goes to show just how dedicated the modding scene was even before the game came out. And of course, the thing about that is that there was a lot of transferable skills when Half-Life 2 first came out. A lot of things were already understood, even from like the original Half-Life 1. So you see things like these guys. The whole game, it's made using the Hammer map editor, which was the new version of an older map editor called Worldcraft. It was even still called Worldcraft, I think, when Half-Life 2 leaked in 2003. That's the thing, is I don't remember for sure. I might be mixing things up, but I believe that when Half-Life 2 leaked in 2003, the thing about that was that they had still called Hammer Worldcraft. Or maybe I'm misremembering things. To be certain, I'm pretty sure that the executable file, the thing that actually launches the map editor, was still called Worldcraft, but maybe the tool itself was called Hammer at this point. It's a weird thing, I don't know for certain. The point that I'm trying to make, though, is that this was probably made by somebody who knew a thing or two about making mods for Gold Source. Anyway, check this thing out. We're on our way out, baby. It's a beautiful thing. We got a real mod by Donald. Thank you, Donald. Thank you, Mazdo. Mwah, that is a beautiful thing. Thanks to HOT Beta.RU for archiving the original mod. It's true. They know a thing or two about archiving. At least from time to time they do. But anyway, I feel like there were some things I didn't get to the end of during my rants and spiels there, but you learn a thing or two about me when you watch my videos. And the thing about a lot of my videos and what I talk about is I don't always get to the end of the things I'm saying, and I think that's okay. Because at the end of the day, you learn a thing or two anyway, and we got some nice things to show to you guys on this beautiful YouTube channel. So anyway, I've been Wolfclock. Thank you for joining me once again on Late Night Casual Hour. This has been The Thing Remastered, and a link of it will be in the description down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you folks in the next episode, whenever it may be.